sometimes. Other days, do you feel those things so dear to you just slip away? They just slip away. They just slip away. They just slip away. They just slip away. Sometimes, every now and then, is it harder to explain? Wherever you go, there is pain. Sometimes, ever so often, when you travel back in time, you can't even shout away the pain and the misery. Pain and misery. Pain and misery. Pain and misery. I can't believe that you were able to just sit there satisfied and look the other way. So many times, so many places, you just sit there satisfied and look the other way. They just slip away. They just slip away. They just slip away. They just slip away. I can't believe that you were able to just sit there satisfied and look the other way. So many times, so many places, to let so many hearts to ever get broken. They just slip away. They just slip away. They just slip away. They just slip away.
Tulsa, like Wilmington, Rosewood, Memphis, Selma, Ferguson, East St. Louis, Mobile, Alabama, down in the shipyards,
Flint, Michigan, Wounded Knee, and a Trail of Tears.
the Oklahoma land rush.
Assault,
Murder, rape, and plunder, the desecration of indigenous people.
Hatred of brown peoples, belief in manifest destiny, double standard morality,
segregation, discrimination, arrogance, stolen dreams, stolen families, stolen property, stolen and spoiled food supplies.
The lowest of the low.
kangaroo court, white supremacy,
Contempt of law and humanity, mob
Vigilantism.
total term participation.
Black Wall Street Massacre.
State-run terrorism, National Guard against American citizens, denial of citizenship based on race,
Based on race. Assassination, murder, pillage, annihilation, destruction of wealth and finance.
Hatred and contempt. Second Amendment rights.
Paper cuts, paper cuts, paper cuts.
A social nightmare backdrop, Willie Lynch, Reconstruction, Freedman's Bureau, the birth of a nation, Plessy versus Ferguson, Jim Crow South, negative imaging, gerrymandering, voter obstructionism, discrimination, Dred Scott, Emmett Till.
Black infants is alligator bait? Well, any infant is alligator bait? I can't believe you have so little respect for human life. You sell, buy, and trade postcards of our infants as alligator bait.
buy and trade postcards of our infants as alligator bait.
You sell, buy, and trade postcards of municipal lynching. That's how we control our niggas? Postcards of total town after total town municipal lynching? And now you wonder where police brutality comes from? Trayvon Martin, Amadou Diallo,
artistic misappropriation. Don't get me started.
Elvis was the height of ripping off black culture. Muddy Waters to Led Zeppelin and all British rockers. Howlin' Wolf to the Beatles. Robert Johnson.
James Brown to the Rolling Stones.
Louis Jordan to Bill Haley and the Commons.
Pat Boone to Little Richard Race Records. To George Washington Carver to Henry Ford and Ford Motor Plant. On and on and on.
You steal our ideas, steal our reputations, steal our heart, steal our dreams, steal our children, steal our spouses, steal our ancestry, steal our ancestors, steal our friends, steal our property, steal our money. But when I think of all the things that we were robbed of, the most important thing was our time.
When I think of all the things that we were robbed of, the most important thing was our time.
When I think of all the things that we were robbed of, the most important thing was our time.
But when I think of all the things that were robbed of, the most important thing was our time.
You can't just go to the best schools. You gotta finagle the bagel. You have to do a thing.
To a thing.
To a thing, to get around to a thing.
Unless you fit into the category of a racehorse like betting stock, basketball, football, baseball player, boxer.
They wasted our time.
And we don't get our time back.
The biggest insult every time somebody says,
All American this or that, or they show me a little white kid with a name like Johnson or Reagan or Henderson that has origins in Europe. None of those names are American to me.
When you had a breeding program against the whole continent of people that you blindly and foolishly thought were of the same race because they were darker than you.
Because they were darker than you? Just like you stupidly thought the indigenous people on the so-called North American continent were from India. You still call them Indians.
The African people lumped together and stripped of their names, languages, cultures, rights, and humanity, the height of your hallmark cruelty. African people were crossbred here.
Guinea was Ghanaian, Nigerian was Zambian, Senegalese was Cameroonian, Benin was Botswanan.
Everything we crossbred black Americans know is as a result of surviving in a violent cesspool of hatred, murder, and atrocity against man and God.
The culture you made was nothing less than the factory that produced the real All-Americans.
Here are some real All-American names. LaShondra, Ray Ray, Lakeisha. My definition of a true All-American is Paul Robeson, Scott Joplin,
W.E.B. Du Bois,
W.E.B. Du Bois,
Jack Johnson,
Sojourner Truth,
Harriet Tubman,
Maya Angelou,
Toni Morrison,
James Baldwin, Jackie
Toni
Robinson,
Morrison,
Jackie
James
Robinson,
Baldwin,
Muhammad
Jackie
Ali,
Robinson,
Miles Davis,
Miles Davis,
Miles Davis, John Coltrane, Mike Tyson, Serena Williams, Venus Williams, the NFL.
baseball.
Every bit of this was a result of a breeding program invented and originated on U.S. soil.
Somebody wants to say that Willie Lynch wasn't a real person, but I say to them, bullshit.
Some motherfucker taught those country bumpkin ass motherfuckers
How to get slaves to make slaves of themselves. Had they wound up with someone like me as a slave?
And they weren't quick enough, or smart enough, or strong enough. I'll get them first.
I'll get them first.
Somebody taught those slave owners how to make slaves out of themselves.
And for me, that name is Willie Lynch. Willie Lynch is the name of the concept of this. Uncle Tom is the assistant to the slave owner, and Uncle Remus
Was a good nigger.